Well, hello everyone. It is Friday, September the 15th, 2023. I am Dale Delbridge, Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. This is your status chat. And in behalf of my Big Orange fans, yay, Bama lost. Well, it's not the end of the world. We got more football to play. Now, today we're going to have a fairly quick show, and we'll get to it right after this. If you like this content, please go to CallDelToSell.com, find the tab that says on YouTube, click it, and it'll open up a page of QR codes. There you can use a smartphone to scan and get to the YouTube page, or you can just mouse over and click it on a PC. There you'll be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you when each Friday's blog has been uploaded. Thank you. Okay. We have had some bad news show up about economics here lately. We've had the PCI, the CPI, PCE, PPI, all going up. All the inflation indicators go up. Today we had some bad news that oil is hit like $90-something a barrel. Not a good sign. But it's not all bad. But we can go back and look today at the middle screen and check out the Mortgage News Daily 30-year fixed rate mortgage rates. We do this sometime, and it's not a real pretty little graph we got going on, but we can see how things have been so that we don't have to overreact. We had the 30-year fixed daily score, MBA, Mortgage Bankers Association. That's a weekly, and weekly is Freddie Mac's, that's government. And we see Freddie Mac was 718. That's not too far. 16th, we had 716 from MBA, and of course, on September 15th, we have 729. And that looks like it went up 0.05% over yesterday because it was 724, 722, 725, 730. So just on the 11th, it was higher than it was today. So it fluctuates a little bit more than the others because it's a daily rate. So we have some stuff to get into, and I guess today we'll just keep it short. Be quite honest, if you'll look above my head, right up there, you see CallDelToSell.com. I'd like to draw your attention to the on YouTube tab where you can go in and look for that YouTube square there, that QR code for home and land. Because recently I've posted a sequence of videos dealing with finishing up a little small auxiliary kitchen upstairs for a home-based business. And it's kind of a small, little tiny spot to get this much stuff in. It's got quite a bit of cabinetry in it. I know I paid for it. And it's got some equipment. It's sort of full service. It does have a small cooktop, not gas. I didn't have gas up there. So it is a small unit up there, 24-inch. And it's good enough to do what that business needs. It also in the future might be usable for an auxiliary or guest, if you will, kitchen up there for the next person who owns it. So it brings me to this point. You'll see in my design, they're extremely modest. They don't just reach out and grab you and say, oh gosh almighty, that looks good. And that's something I want to point out. When we look at kitchens, if you're looking to redo a kitchen, you can spend a lot more money than you can recoup out of it. And on top of spending money on a lot of high-end stuff that really grabs people, the stuff that really grabs one person may turn another person off. Like right now, some people are still trying to get that 1920s green kitchen in. I don't know, and some people are still building the dark gray island. We're seeing a lot more, at least what I'm seeing, being offered are the much more neutral white kitchens. And the reason being is people don't like to see an ugly, dirty, very well dated type of kitchen. They'd rather see something clean and neat with some fairly modern appliances in it. They don't have to be brand new or whatever. And the purpose of these videos, the reason I documented all this, not because I'm a contractor and I'm not an expert, but because I am a do-it-yourself for what I'm physically able to do. And in this environment, we might have to talk, if you're a first-time home buyer, in order to get off of the rent and onto the ladder, the housing ladder, you may have to take a little smaller house or something that may need a little sweat equity, and you can still do that. In this state, you're allowed to work on your own home. Now, where we could get in trouble is if someone is a professional real estate person and they're fixing homes up to flip, they can't really do their own work because unless, of course, they're a licensed contractor themselves. If you're a homeowner and you're living in the home, you can do some of these improvements yourself, and a lot of them aren't that difficult. But if you've never done one because you've never owned a home, they can be quite intimidating. Now, you can look at YouTube and other places and find out some of the technical, this is how I did it, and you can hope that they actually knew what they were doing when they were showing you what they were doing. But what it can do is help you learn some better questions to ask when you go to your floor store, your tile store, or whatever you might want to look at. What I do on my videos is try to think out loud to show you the type of questions that I have, and some of them may be your questions, some of them may not be your question. Some of them may simply spur on a question that you didn't know you would thought of had you not watched that particular video. And not everything's perfect. I'm not a perfect individual, but it is my home and my kitchen, and I'm cleaning it up, kind of doing the building, kind of cleaning it up from top down since I built it almost 2 decades ago. Some things are getting cleaned up and fixed up. This happens to be an addition for an at-home business. So it's being fully permitted, fully inspected, that sort of thing. And so it's not being done as a contractor. So you get to see how an amateur would actually do this. And you can like or comment, or you can tell me I didn't know what I was doing, or I should have done something else, whatever. I think things through well enough that they are at least up to general contractor standards. At least that's what I would like to believe. And some stuff I have to have done because I'm not physically able to like lift granite slabs and that kind of stuff, or I don't have the equipment to do it. So anyway, that's it. Now let's look at today's numbers. If I can flip over the right page, let's get to them right after this. Hello, I'm Del Delbert of Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you are currently unrepresented and would like to know how to compare up to 3 properties side by side and room by room, then go over to my new YouTube channel, CallDelToSell. That's 1 L and Del, no spaces. Watch the demo on Real Scout, and then call me and we'll set up your exclusive ad-free account today. Oh yes, finally back in the comfort of Studio K. So here we have last week, 9/8/23. We had 18,960 opportunities in the Real Scout system. That includes your coming soons and the ones that are actually open, ready to sell. Those went up a little bit over the previous period. We had 3866 in the under contracts still showing, and they went up slightly over the previous period, and the integer ratio between those two numbers was 1 in 5, or 20%. This week, 9/15/23, we had 19,228 in the opportunities. That's increasing slightly over the previous period, and we had 3876 in the under contract still showing, and the integer ratio remained unchanged at 20%. So like I say, I want to draw your attention to the Home and Land playlist over on the CallDelToSell website, because I go through, I think, in more detail of why and the rationale of why I do certain things in my choices that may not be your choices. They don't have to be your choices, but they're the ones I make. And particularly in this case, I don't want to go overboard in a second kitchen when second kitchens I don't think give as much value as a primary kitchen, and so I don't really want to go nuts. I just need a clean and effective work area. So I have a little island in there you might want to take a look at. It looks a little strange, looks a little odd, but it's as big as I can get it and still get my codes, because this is a permitted work that needs to get out there. So I can't make it much bigger than what it is. In fact, I think I've got it pretty well maxed out. It actually flows better than it looks because it's an odd shape. And anyway, you might just want to be curious to see what something like that looks like. And if you're a first-time home buyer, to get you on the housing ladder, to get you on that first rung, we got to get you out of renting. And it may be in this environment to start building that equity, that you start with a little older home, that you be able to see in some of the potential to do some things yourself. I'm not a contractor. Don't play one on Facebook or YouTube or Rumble or any other places, LinkedIn. I don't play a contractor. But your house is still your castle. And right now, we need to get you into your castle. So we appreciate you watching. See you next week.